What's up guys, and welcome to Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena Valor content. I am at my mission to show you some of the heroes that I haven't played in months, and a lot of these characters are actually mages. While I'm trying to get some quite good Crixie footage, which is actually pretty annoying because I don't know what they did with her. She was really good lately. I know that many players still think she is kind of some sort of submarine OP. You kinda know that she is, but no one plays her. I don't really feel like that anymore. I've played a couple of matches with her. I tried different layouts and nothing has worked so far. So today I've got something else for you. We are going to take a look on Ilumia, a character which I haven't played in about 9 months or something like that, and I think it's time to give her another review. A lot has changed in the game, and I've got a new build for you that I want to show you right now. So equipment wise, I've decided to go with basically what I would call the meta build. We've got the diadem in there, and we've got the Tome of the Reaper. Added to that is Bareth's Agony, and this is the Arctic Orb, which I think complements the build quite nicely because she will be standing pretty close because of the short range of her spells. Then we're using Staff of Null, and I'm going with Flashy Boots because we're going to fire stuff a lot. So we're going to hit constantly the S1 ability and sometimes S2, so we want to have our cooldown as short as possible, especially because your ult is really helpful utility wise, but we're going to talk about that later on. Okay, no worries, I'm not doing any sort of crazy stunts. I've got my normal loadout, which is the mage damage, focusing on ability power and magic pierce with some lifesteal and some cooldown reduction. That said, I'm going to take 10 times Violate level 3, I'm going to take 10 times Devour, and I'm going to take Hex over Flurry in this build because of the set cooldown speed reduction that I want to apply. Enchantment wise, I've decided to go on, I would say, full damage and not really that much utility. Like, the only utility that we're going to use is Sacred Bead, which is the stuff that's going to stack with your ult cooldown reduction. It's really strong on Ilumia, because it's going to detect every single enemy on the battlefield in the moment that they're using your ult, which gives you a lot of vision. I think it's the best source of vision giving without any items or any of the mechanics that they have applied in the game when you have been taken down the first tower in the middle. From then on, there will be this little dim light that you can kind of cross through, and then you're going to enlighten your jungle. But this one actually shows you the position of enemy characters on the map, so you can totally tell if they're going to do Abyssal Dragon. You can tell if it's possible to gank if you are the jungler and you've got Ilumia. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hit it every once in a while. Basically, when the cooldown is ready, I'm going to hit it because I just want to see where the positioning and the strategy from the enemies is going to be in the next second. So I think it's really helpful, and therefore we're taking this one, and the rest of the build is pretty much standard if you want to focus on damage. Therefore we've got Holy Verdict for the magic pierce, we've got Holy Verdict for the additional damage when we're using abilities or spells, which stacks actually quite nicely with your S1 because you're going to fire first one projectile and then afterwards you're going to have another one immediately when you are using your passive. We've got Raging Inferno for some extra damage, and we've got Deadly Claw for some extra damage. So this is the build. Let's see what you can actually do in the current meta with Zatas and stuff like that. Welcome to my gameplay. Oh, we've got some sun flare in there because I'm recording actually quite early. So it's not nighttime, it's some minutes after I ended my work schedule for today. And I'm going to record this video, and you guys are going to see this about an hour later. So this is a Thursday video. And yeah, we're fighting against Iggy. As I said, we're going to test out how good this build is against current meta choices. I think Iggy is really strong right now, and let's see what we can do against Fire Bomb fire bomb. Bombardment. That was the word I was looking for. I've got some D at the beginning of that in my mind. Like, what I realize is that I most often have the first ability triggered again as soon as I just hit that button, like it's going to proc immediately. I don't know if this is some kind of mistake in the game technically, or if it's just me because my fingers are actually quite clumsy. I don't know. Let's hear if you guys have the same issue as I do. Maybe there's just some sort of really short time frame where you can not hit it to kind of activate it. I don't really know about that. It's actually quite nice with the light on my face. It actually looks like if things are going healthy and stuff like that in my place, because normally you're seeing me with two really strong lights enlightening my face, so that we do get the green screen. But I'm going to position myself a little bit further to the for you guys it's the right hand side. So we've got a really weak matchup with the Monkey King, who's Wukong in the jungle. As a mage, I kind of fear him, but usually he is not really going to deal much harm. Okay, so now on we need to fix this, because otherwise it's gonna be painful. Okay, let's do it like that. I'm going to put myself more into this kind of position. Well, never mind. So it's sunny here in Germany. Today we had 22 degrees or something. It was actually pretty cold. I had to wait at the doctor's today outside, and I've kind of felt like really freezing. I was like, well, I'm just wearing a t-shirt and a really light jacket on top of that. But here I am. I didn't die because of the cold, and now I can record some videos. So what's really nice about her is the fact that you can actually use your S2 in order to get people out of there. And I think if not for the stupid buff stuff, that would have been an actual retreat, and we would have been available again, because Bright would not have been able to kill me, but unfortunately he did. So nothing that I can do against this, so we need to focus on the rest of the game. But so far so good. We've got 5 kills, the enemy's got 4 kills, and I think so far we were actually doing okay. Like, we just got 1 assist, which is too much, but hey, never mind. Better 1 assist than no assist at all. So I think in this game was a lot of focus on the bottom lane, and the cool thing is that you can just basically fire your S1 into the fray all the time. So I just used it to kind of flank the enemies and flank the enemies and flank the enemies and flank the enemies, and it actually worked. It works more often than you would think, and I think that's the stuff which is important. So now I've got the problem that Isha was ulting me, but nonetheless I just threw out every single spell that I had. We survived that kind of shit. Oh my god, the sun is just so annoying. It's kind of moving so fast that I need to find a spot where I can just position myself and then you guys can't see me anymore. And now we've got the first kill. And that could have been the second kill, but it's the second assist, and I'm fine with that. Like, I think we should have been a little bit quicker, and that would have saved Cathany. But unfortunately, it didn't. I'm going to put myself here. Maybe it's not comfortable. My back still hurts from sleeping on the sofa a lot because of my daughter. Because I don't want to disturb her, but yes. So now ult's ready, and just watch the map. It's so convenient to just know where all the enemies are heading towards. And I think that really gives a team a strategic opportunity to outflank or outmaneuver enemies. The problem is you have to use it. I think Ilumia is better in team-focused plays where you have the opportunity to kind of coordinate the stuff that you are going to do. As a solo laner or as a solo champion in the solo queue, I think she is sometimes she doesn't pack enough punch. And I feel that the distance that her stuff is traveling could have been a little bit longer, because with the short range she is exposing herself quite a lot. Like, if you saw Wukong jumping towards me, like, I think his jumping distance is basically just a little bit shorter than the distance that I've got on my spell. So I think that's not good, because it actually forces you to play more upfront than you would actually like with her. And that said, the only escape mechanism that you have is your S2, and your S2 is only working against melee-based champions. If you have someone such as Laville, Caphany, Thorn, you name it, you have zero chance of getting away. Defeated, I think that worked quite well. We're using our Flicker here. Flicker is basically my to-go tool to, and I killed her. It's basically my to-go tool if I'm fighting against Furball ult, and I'm just flickering out of that. And I said to myself, let them fight and let's have some of that. I'm just too greedy. That's a huge mistake. Can we do something against Iggy? No, I think we can't. Well, I was basically just securing the getaway path from our Florentino. Everything went well, but you need to be careful about that, because if Wukong is back, there's always the chance that he is somewhere where you're not expecting him and he is jumping towards you. Because now we need to focus on Wukong is up there. Minions have just spotted him, so we don't need to be that careful. But with Isha and Iggy both on the same page, both on the same path, you need to be super careful, because, like, for once, Isha can just drop your ult on top of you, as she's doing here. And then she is just going to try to get you, and yes, that got me. Unfortunately, I don't get her. I think that was a misplay. I could have played that a lot better, because I think she was, like, what happened is I think she recalled Furball, so Furball was running out of the area of effect stuff, and I was able to get damage upon her. So I think it would have been better to ult first and then use my first ability after that, and I did it vice versa, because I think the ult has a I think but because the ult has a short stun duration. But I think that was the stuff that killed me. Not entirely sure if I would have kind of realized that. My problem is I play characters so little from time to time that oh my god, that was really bad. I was just waiting for my ult to see if Bright would have would just make a mistake, and here we go. And that's another fun thing about Ilumia, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. So if you have, tell me if you belong to the Ilumia has killed me while I was recalling club, because I am definitely a member of that. It killed me a couple of times, because basically I don't know if I'm the only person, but basically if I'm about to recall, I normally make sure that I'm going towards some kind of what I would call a safe position, like in the brush, away from the fight, a little bit away from the action. And then I would just press the recall button, and I would use the time in between the recalls to find out who's got most gold, what items are the enemies building, how is my team doing, and all these sorts of information where you would need more time. I mean, yes, you can just use your stuff and then basically check for a quick information. But if you want to analyze the whole game flow a little bit better or in detail, you need more time, and therefore I'm going to do that if I'm going to recall. And that's really annoying, because then I'm not concentrating or focusing myself on the game flow at that current point anymore, and that got me killed, I think, at least a couple of times. But it's funny how a lot of players are not really reacting to that. So if you want to, I'm using Isha's ult basically a lot as some kind of strategic utility device. But if you really want to damage your opponents, I would say you are going to wait for some kind of team fight. And then what's really good about the team fight situation is if you've got enemies following up enemies in the front. So for example, if you've got a tank and the tank is forcing your tank to fight, and your tank is about to fall back, then you can ult in, and with a bit of luck you're going to hit not the tank, but the warriors who are following your tank, because the whole positioning moves a little bit towards you, and that can be really, really helpful. Not an assist for that, that's unfortunate. 8 assists already, 3 kills, 2 deaths. I'm totally fine with something like that. Like, if that's the result of a play I'm doing with Ilumia, I'm totally fine, because it's actually pretty good. In my opinion, in my humble opinion. Right now, my Crixie matches look a little bit different. I think you would see the same numbers, but it would rather be 2 kills, 8 deaths, and 3 assists. That would be my basic score with Crixie right now. I don't know what happened to her, but I need some games. I think I played 3 to 4 games yesterday, and I was preparing to get some content for this channel, because right now I need some Crixie video, I need some Zip video, and I think that's about it. And yeah, I'm trying to get content for this channel, but Crixie is really making it hard for me to get something suitable. Like, I'm fine with showing you some sort of bad game that is resulting in a loss. Like, I think people who, oh my god, that was badly played. I think people who are following my content and watching more videos than just this one know that I do show losses. It's not a problem. I don't need those crazy games where I've got 17 kills and stuff like that. But sorry, work is over. I'm always a little bit tired afterwards. I think really, really bad games as a viewer, like for you guys out there, are the games where you don't really see anything happen. So for example, if I want to mention a game yesterday and you guys tell me if you want to see that, because it was I can't show you because I didn't film the entire video. I think shortly before we were defeated, I just stopped the video from recording. But for example, one of my videos yesterday was with a butterfly jungler, which is actually something good. Like, butterflies, many people say like, okay, this is a noob champion, but the good thing is that even newer players perform quite well with her, and I think that's good for the whole game experience to find a character where you can practice jungling with. So that's, at least in my humble opinion, that's something which is actually good. Like, if we would have just characters such as, I don't know, that was a clown move. If you've got just characters such as, for example, let's say AoV, the game would look completely different, because the skill cap would be way too high for newer players, and they would never ever make their way into the game, and they will just install the game, play some rounds, and then decide that it's way too complicated and uninstall the game. So we need heroes like Butterfly, but of course Butterfly is a little bit of a mismatch if you've got a good Butterfly player versus a good, for example, Wukong player. And the Wukong player is not able to snowball into the game. But even if Butterfly is not snowballing, she still will have an easier time than Wukong. Just for the record on this part. So, back to my Crixie game. I was playing Crixie with a Butterfly jungler. The rest of the team was actually looking normal. Nothing too nothing too fancy, nothing too bright. What happened was that this Butterfly player wasn't playing any jungle at all right from the first minute in the game. So what happened was basically that Butterfly was starting to camp the middle lane where I was playing as Crixie. And she was not only not going into her designated role, which was the jungle, but she was also stealing gold and farm from me as a mid laner. So what happened was that she was actually destroying 2 positions. My mage role, because I can't get back into the game, like I'm the person who needs farm from minions, because that's basically the only source besides some kills. And the second part would have been that she needs to go into her jungle, and to make it even worse, we were playing against AoV, who was just going into our jungle, stealing farm from our butterfly, giving us some kind of triple effect. And those were the games that I was playing with Crixie, so I don't know how you guys would feel about it, but I was, after the 3rd game, I was like, not gonna do this. So I'm going to try it after you guys have seen this video. While watching television, I'm going to try to record some games. So I think it went quite nice. 10.0, 30% damage. That was actually quite nice. But if you check the damage from the others, Florentino and Bright, it's not that perfect. So I had fun playing her. I don't think that she is too strong right now, but she's actually a decent choice. So tell me what you guys think. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Likes and comments are always appreciated. And I wish you a pleasant evening. See you soon on this channel. Bye bye.